All right, Mustang fans and surrounding areas. It is Monday evening, and that means we're going to be talking Ingleside Mustang Sports, the athletic program. And we have two scheduled tonight. We're going to talk right now about our softball program. And right after this, we're going to jump into our baseball program. So we'll have Coach Lewis and Coach Sanchez on today to talk about their programs. We'll recap the last two games and preview what's coming up this week with both coaches. But on the screen, like I said, we're going to talk softball first, and we have the Ingleside Lady Mustangs head coach, Kevin Lewis. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, Coach. Great, great, great. Yesterday was kind of cool for April. I was like, man, I stepped outside and I was like, what's going on here? Today was a little better. Still a little cool, but not quite. The wind wasn't blowing as hard as it was the other day. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. But other than that, it was a good day. And of course, I want to congratulate you. 2-0 this past week, right? We had two district games, and we get a win on both of them, which is the season is a few games left, and then we'll be talking postseason. So, Coach, we'll jump right into it here and recap the two games that you had here. You guys, the Lady Mustangs, traveled to Sinton to take on the Lady Pirates. It has always been a battle when these two teams played. Ingleside was able to win the first matchup there at home. So, if they were to get this win, they would sweep Sinton, and they did get the win 6-1. So congratulations, coach, on the win again and the sweep. I don't know, coach. You remember last time Ingleside swept Sinton?
No, I don't. I know it had been a while since they had beaten them. Uh, I can't remember what they had told me. We talked about it last time. Um, but no, I can't remember the last time they swept them.
Yeah, it was good to be able to get the win against a program that's been so good for so many years. Of course, we've talked about they've got a young team out there, but it didn't take away from the way the Lady Mustangs have performed. They've gone out and done what they need to do. So again, they get the sweep 2-0. Coach, before we get in and give you an opportunity to recap this game and talk a little bit about what you saw from the Lady Mustangs, I do want to talk a little bit about the player performance, the stats offensively for Ingleside in that game. Number 22, Carol Rodriguez, 1 for 5. She had one run, one RBI. We'll talk a little bit about Nilani Smith. She's back in the lineup. That's always good to see. She went 1 for 4, one run, one RBI, a walk. Number 7, Bethany Aceves, 1 run, one RBI, one walk. Number 9, Kylie Ward, 1 for 2, one RBI, two walks. Number 14, she's been really good here as of late, coach. Avery Adami, offensively, 1 for 4, two RBIs. Number 15, Kaylee Moore, the freshman, 1 for 3, one walk. Number 10, the other freshman, Dara Davila, 1 for 4. And the other freshman, number 4, Kiki Smith, 1 for 2, two runs, a walk. So you're getting production from the top, but also from the bottom. Dara, Kiki, and Kaylee, all freshmen, really this week hit the ball very well for the 6-1 win. What did you see offensively, coach, from these girls? I mean, everyone was hitting in this game.
Well, let me start off. We started off slow. They were beating us 1-0. I think they scored on it. We had an error, and then they stole, and then passed ball, and then they ground out. So they scored early, 1-0. I know for a while there it was kind of we were having flashbacks of the game before, um, and I think it was the fifth inning. Kiki Smith was leading off, and we had talked about just getting me the leadoff hitter to get on, and she went up there and worked a walk, but it was a great at bat. I think she fouled off about 4 or 5 pitches. One thing we did know was Sinton's pitcher is a freshman, so she's young, and we kind of noticed in their other games she'll kind of wear down at the end. So we were trying to do some fake bunts to see if we could get them to move and kind of wear her down a little bit. But she ended up getting a walk, and then she stole second, and then Carol with the big double to bring her in to tie it, and then I think Leilani got a double to make it 2-1 or something like that. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I know Kiki was kind of the starter, the start of the rallies in both innings. So she played a huge part in that game. And then hitting's contagious. So if you kind of look, nobody had 2 hits. It was all 1 hit or a walk there. So we did a lot of damage in the later innings, and I'm just proud of the way they hung in there and then got some big hits this game or that game.
Yeah, coach. The team stats: 31 at bats. The Lady Mustangs get 6 runs off of 7 hits, 6 RBIs, seven walks, 5 Ks. The other interesting thing, coach, was the stolen bases. We're very, very aggressive here. 4 stolen bases in the game. Was that something that you wanted to see more of in this game, or just kind of present itself during the game and we win, or was that something that we had put emphasis on before the game?
Uh, I think it had a lot to do. Well, we're very confident. You know, all those stolen bases, 2 by Kiki, and then Mua and Ruby Epart. Those are our freshmen, and I think we talked about them bringing a different element to the team. We feel like we got some speed with them, and I think me probably worrying there about trying to get someone in scoring position because we hadn't been scoring a lot. So probably me taking chances and then, kind of just kind of going off a gut feel of maybe what pitch they're going to throw to try to take advantage. And it kind of worked out in our favor.
I love to see the base running, but I noticed the four, and I said, man, I noticed the last time we've taken more chances, or at least the games I've been to, I've seen to try to put ourselves or runner in that scoring position, especially when the top of the lineup is coming. You got somebody in that second, third base, and then you bring in, Lilani and Carol. You bring in the top of the lineup, which if they can get a hit out there, will give us some runs. And so it's nice to see that we were able to get some stolen bases there in this game. And then in the circle for us was number 9, Kylie Ward, pitched the whole game, 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 run, 7 Ks. And so with that win, Ingleside now goes 4-1 in district play. Coach, anything you want to add to Kylie's performance against Sinton?
Yeah, I think they wanted to put the ball in play more. She only threw 88 pitches, 54 strikes. She didn't walk anyone. So talked about that last week, commanding the zone. I think I think she was able to mix in some strikeouts, but also make them put the ball in play. And then the defense did a great job, except for the one error in the first inning. Then we played pretty sound after that. That was the only error we had. So I think she did well. Just commanding the zone and 88 pitches is not a lot, so that makes me happy.
Yeah, she's been great, coach. I mean, every game she's been very consistent with the strikeouts, putting the ball in play, and it's given us an opportunity to win these games that we won. On the other side, I do notice also that yeah, we do start off slow for whatever reason. It kind of takes us a while to get going offensively. But this team, that's that's what's dangerous about, I think, about this Lady Mustang team is you can hold them, and I've said this a few times on the podcast, is you can hold them for the first 3 or 4, but they're very capable of in one inning scoring 4 or 5 runs, just really opening it up, right? So just because you hold them for the first 5 to maybe no runs, in one inning, that be the 6th or the 7th, this team can explode with this lineup for multiple runs. And so it started off slow, but ended up very good for the Lady Mustang. So now we go to the next game of this past week, and that was the Calhoun game. Ingleside gets the win 9-3. And they also sweep Calhoun. So a sweep for the Lady Mustangs versus Sinton and Calhoun is always nice to see. Let's talk a little bit about their performance. Coach, again, top of the lineup, Carol Rodriguez, 1 for 5, 2 runs, getting a lot of production from that top of the lineup. Number 1, Alani Smith, 2 for 4, 1 RBI. Number 7, Bethany Aceves, 1 for 4, 1 RBI. Kylie Ward, 1 for 2, 2 walks. That's the top 4. And then we come down to the middle to the bottom. Number 14, Avery Adami, 1 for 2. Let's see, that was 2 runs, 2 walks. And then number 15, Kaylee Moore, 1 for 3, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, a walk. Dara Davila, 1 for 3, 1 run, 1 RBI. Senior number 21, Maddie Agnew, getting into the action, 1 for 3. And then the freshman, Kiki Smith, 1 for 3, 1 run, 1 walk. So overall, both of these games getting a lot of production offensively from everybody, not just the top or the bottom or the middle. Everyone is hitting, which I think is good news to be able to see this offense get going. Talk a little bit about what you saw offensively from the Lady Mustangs versus Calhoun.
So we did game plan wanting to start off fast. That was the first thing was the key.
Give it a second here. I think Coach.
We did that. One is
Coach, if you can hear me, you froze up.
well, and then probably the 5th inning, 4th and 5th inning, we had a chance to put the game away, and we didn't. I noticed they started taking some people out. I want to say Kai had a perfect game going until the 5th inning. So she was pretty dominant in the circle, but I think we just lost focus a little bit there towards the end. They start taking people out. So you know how it is. Sometimes you think, oh, the game's over. And they ended up scoring 3 runs, which is more runs than we've given up in district all year. So that's kind of an eye opener for us to stay focused the whole time.
Absolutely. And the team stats: 30 at bats, 9 runs on 10 hits, 5 RBIs, 6 walks, 3 Ks. Those walks too, showing a lot of patience at the plate, stolen bases. So overall, just a great performance by the Lady Mustangs in their 2 games that they played this past week. And we'll get coach's thoughts here on the upcoming games. Like I said, just a few more games left, and then district, the regular season ends, and then it's postseason time. And so I'm really excited about talking with Coach about the playoffs, but that's down the road here. We still got a few games we got to play here in district, very important games at that. And in the circle, as Coach was talking, Kylie Ward, number 9, 7 innings pitched the whole game, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks, again, double digits. So Kylie's just performing lights out, just phenomenal performance consistently from the junior pitcher here, which is what Ingleside would need as we want to finish out strong in district and then obviously make a run in the playoffs. So with that win, Ingleside goes to 5-1 in district play. And so now, Coach, I'd like to get your thoughts on the upcoming games. I know we got a game coming up here that's not a district game. I want to get your thoughts on that because I don't know much about that team. But before we get to that, last week when we talked, we knew that Lilani Smith was injured. I think it was her shoulder, you said, but we didn't know when she was coming back. Then I just saw her in the lineup, which, as you can see with what she did this week, obviously we missed her. So having her back in the lineup is huge. But what can you tell us? When was the decision made that, or that you knew that she was going to be able to come back and play? And it seems like she's not missing a beat with what we saw here these last 2 games.
Well, one of the parents said I was Bill Belichick because we knew she was coming back. But when you asked, I just kind of wanted to act like I didn't know when. She had practiced last Monday, felt good. Got practiced and text her in the morning, or text her dad in the morning, and he said she was good to go. So she's back, and still got to make sure that she stays healthy. It's probably a little sore, so we'll probably take it easy with her tomorrow, and keep her fresh for district.
Absolutely, and we'll definitely need her. I mean, all these players, injuries, even if you lose one player, it makes such a huge difference. People, you wouldn't think so, right? But it does. Going as healthy as possible into the finishing out the regular season, the district season, and then getting into the playoffs. You definitely want everyone healthy. So hopefully she'll stay that way because we definitely need her. Big part of what we're doing here this year. Now we'll preview the upcoming games, and on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, Ingleside has a home game, but it's a non-district game against Victoria West. Coach, if I got that correct, talk to us a little bit about this. Is a bigger school, 5A school. I don't know much about them. Tell us a little bit about them and the scheduling, why we're playing them.
We'll play them at 5 o'clock. Tomorrow it'll be parents/senior night. So 5 o'clock we'll start the game. That way, because they have a long trip, so that way it's fair for them to get back, and then we'll do our parent night after. Um, I just think going back to losing four people or four games, I should say, in district, just kind of trying to find games, and she had texted, and that was kind of an open date that we had. And I thought it would be good uh, putting it towards the end and it being at home. You could do the parent/senior night without any worries of a district game or a big game. Kind of throws your scheduling off as far as that day. So I used to play them when I coached at Ray. That's a good program. I know they hit the ball well. I think kind of looking at their scores, they might not have the pitching this year, but they do score a lot of runs. So it'll be a tough test for us.
I always to me, if we can play instead of sitting around, to me that's better, right? It keeps the girls, I think, in the system where it's like a rotation. It's kind of like it's a rhythm. Okay, we're supposed to be playing. We're not supposed to be off on Tuesdays and Friday. We're supposed to play, even though we're not playing a district game. We're supposed to be playing, right, instead of just sitting around. So it's good. The bigger schools, like you said, maybe the pitching isn't there, but the offense is, and I think that'll be good for Kylie to see that type of offense and our fielding to continue to get better as we got a couple of games left before district ends. And then on Friday, we'll be traveling to Beeville. Tough place to play out there with the Lady Trojans. We did take the win in their first matchup 10-0. So I've been kind of keeping up with this district. I know we got a big win, but coach, as we always talk here, that was last time. You can't put anything into that. It was a great win. We performed well, but as we know, every game is different. What are you expecting? That's a team that has had a lot of success, good coaching out there, right? Maybe not having the season that most of us thought that they would have or that they've had in the past, but nevertheless, a team that's looking to get into the postseason. What do you want to see from your Lady Mustangs against the Lady Trojans?
First, let me rewind to Victoria West. We'll pitch Avery since it's senior night. As long as she's feeling better, she didn't make it to practice today. She's under the weather, so hopefully she wakes up and is feeling better. That way, she could pitch at home for the last time and go out with a good memory. Beeville actually, I think, clinched the playoff spot, beating Sinton last Friday. So I don't think they were picked by many to make the playoffs, but they have. I know last year when we went over there, I think we only won by one run, so they're a lot better at home than on the road. They have a good crowd, and it's going to be a tough place to play, and we're going to have to bring our A game on the road these last two district games.
Yeah, like I say, you don't want to have a letdown, right? The team, they play better at home. I've been out there, watched them a couple of times. It is a different team, and they're coached very well out there, right? So we've got to make sure that we get out there. We're focused, not just gonna go out there and go through the motions. We want to continue to get better, as we've got just a few games left, and in the regular season before the postseason starts. Coach, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your senior. Now that you were talking about Avery Adami, she's been really good here the last two games offensively. I mean, I know that she moved up to the number two slot when Ilani was injured, but she did very well there, and not to put her back at five and continuing to do what she was doing. Talk a little bit what's been the difference, because she the last two games she's the one that's caught my eye. Her and Kaylee have caught my eye where they've consistently been good offensively. Have you seen anything different in the way that she's batting at the plate?
She's always a good hitter. I just think with Avery, um, when she catches fire, she'll stay hot for, hopefully the rest of this year, her senior year. But no, she's hot right now. I see it in practice. She's driving everything up the middle, and I think she's just trying to finish her last little bit strong, like every senior should try to do. And I like her, batting fifth, because she's protection to Kai Ward. If you pitch around her, then you got another, good stick coming up. So I think it just makes our lineup better with her at five and then Muwa at six.
It does. And then let's talk a little bit about the bottom of the lineup. A lot of production in these last two games from all three of those freshmen: Dara Davila, Kaylee Mua, Kiki Smith. They really performed well these last 2 weeks, which is huge for us, because we talked a little bit about the top of the lineup with the girls up there, Kylie and Bethany and Milani and Carol. But when these girls bottom of the lineup get on, especially with the speed that you talked about with Kiki and those, now how important is it for these girls to be able to continue to do what they're doing for us to win the games? But what have you seen from those three freshmen? Because they're not playing like freshmen; they're playing really, really good for us.
Well, I think what are we 19-8, so we played 27 games,
Mhm.
and I haven't told them this yet, but their freshman is no more. It's time for them to be sophomores now, because that's pretty much what they are. We're at the end of the season. We're at the end of the school year, and they've seen enough. And I actually think they could give a little more. I believe that they can. They've done a great job, but I really have a lot of faith in those three, and I still think they could do even better than what they're doing now.
They're doing really good. I think that's the exciting part. We're gonna lose obviously some of our seniors, but to know that, and these three girls have played a lot. It's not a play here, game here. They consistently are in the lineup, and I think that's been the big key for them to get better. They just consistently been playing in the field at the bats. I mean, when you play almost 30 games and you're playing consistently on the road, you're going to get better. You're going to see good pitching, especially these young girls early on in the non-district. You took them out to these big tournaments, right? They're young, and they're seeing the speed. So all of that now plays into, okay, we've seen some good pitching. We played some good teams. Our district is tough. Now you're starting to see these young girls play well, consistently get on base, hit, which is something that we're going to need from them finishing out this season and then get into the postseason. That bottom of the lineup with these three freshmen going to be really, really critical for them to be able to continue to do that. So it's nice to see these three girls hitting, getting on base, Avery Adami doing her thing, and then you get to the top of the lineup. And I've said, Coach, that when this team hits the ball and gets on base, it's really hard to beat them because of what's in the circle with Kylie, right? So you give Kylie 4 or 5 runs, 9 times out of 10, she's going to win those games, the Lady Mustang. So offense is crucial to get those runs in. And it's nice to see that the Lady Mustangs, our offense in the last two games have been on. Hopefully that will continue in the next couple of games. Coach, thank you very much for coming out and spending some time here with us. I always appreciate you, and hopefully we'll have some players next week, or whoever you want to bring on. Just let me know, and I'll give you the final word. Anything you want to add?
Just thanks again for what you do, and hopefully we have a big crowd. It's the last home game. I would say regular season. You never know how it goes for playoffs, but could be the last game for these seniors. So come out, watch them play, and root us on.
Absolutely. And these other games that they play, like when they go to Rockport, it is a short distance to Rockport. We're not, I mean, you're 15 minutes if that, right? You just come on down and you're there before you know it. Finish maybe if you're listening to music, maybe 2, 3 songs, and you're already in Rockport. So it's not that big a long of a drive, I should say. So just also on the road to come on out and support the Lady Mustangs. They play Sinton. A lot of the teams are from around right here, this little area. It means a lot to the coaches and to the players. They love to see that crowd. I love to see that crowd. So not only because they're at home, obviously we want the crowd, but on the road, definitely when it's a short drive, if you can make it, go out there, support the Lady Mustangs. Expectations are high, and like I said, looking to get into that postseason and make a big run. Coach, this shirt that I got on here,
Yes, sir.
I
Love it.
started to purchase these shirts because I said when I come on, I've got to be able to show that I'm a supporter of the Lady Mustangs, the Mustangs. So it's really really nice. So I'm looking when I'm there, if the store's open, I'm looking to purchase some more stuff. I'm looking to get a cap and whatever else. I've seen some things during football that they had out there that were really nice. But when I go up there and I'm streaming, by the time I get down, it's gone. So I got to make a little connection. But I would definitely love to purchase some stuff. So anything that you know, or I can get some stuff, let me know. I love to be able to pay this stuff to be able to support the programs out there. But definitely love this shirt. I know you got another shirt for me, so I'm looking forward to wearing that one as well. And give
You
me
get
some side gear.
what are you going to be at the Rockport game?
I am. We
I'll
are
try to
going.
slide it to you because I don't want them to get mad.
No, it's tough for me. I tell you, Coach. I when I put the polls up, I don't vote. I can't vote, because we can't it's Toloso Midway. So I just kind of stay afar and enjoy it. But no, I wear the rock. But you give me one, I'll wear it. They know, the schools know what I do, and I'm glad I'm able to do it. One of the reasons that I'd love to be able to get into Aransas Pass because all three of them are right here within this. But I love wearing the gear. I mean, I'll wear it. I'll wear an Ingleside when we're over at home. I'll wear it over there when we're in Rockport. I'll wear Rockport wherever the home game is. I'll wear their stuff. So when I'm in Ingleside, I go wear blue. When I'm in Rockport, I wear the green. But no, my tech guy after the game, the first game with Rockport and Ingleside, the first thing he told me, turned around and says, "We're doing the Tuesday game when they play in Rockport." So yeah, so I didn't even get to write the schedule. He had already told me. He said we're going over there. We're going to be there. So we're definitely going to be there to live stream that game. But we got a game coming up against Victoria West, a non-district game. But again, it's an important game. The girls need to continue to get better. So, Coach, thank you very much. Appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you soon. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. That was Coach Kevin Lewis. Man, I wanna thank Coach. He reached out to me before the season and committed to coming out. He's come out every week. I don't think he's missed one podcast, and he's and it's he's a busy man, coaching, coming out of practice, got a family, and yet he makes time to come out 30 minutes. And I really appreciate the time. Coaches come out. Sometimes they can't make it. They've got games. They've got middle school stuff. But every time that he could make it, he made time to come out to this podcast to talk about his program, to talk about his players. It's what we want to do here is recognize the players. We do a lot of this for the recognition of the players. I mean, the program, the coaches, and all that. It's great for them to come out and let the community know what exactly they're doing. But the recognition of the players put so much time. They don't really have a platform, a lot of them, unless they have their own platform, right, on social media, to be able to come out and have someone ask them questions. So we put their stats up on there so the community can see the consistency. These girls, like the boys, put in a lot of time, man. And a lot of them are young. Kiki Smith, Sarah Davila, Kaylee Mua, just some that pop into mind here. They're going to be in this program for the next 3 years. That's the future, right? To be able to come out this year and put these stats up there. And then when next year comes, if they invite me to come back and do this, and the coaches want to do this on the podcast, then to be able to reflect back next year on their performance this year and continue to build up a profile for them is what I like to do, right? Also talk about the program. We take the games out from, we keep it up for a day or two, and then they stay up there, but then they're you can't access it unless you come through us at the request of the coaches. um but we keep them there so that we can continue to see what they've done and be able to talk about it the next year. So this is why we do this. Obviously we also stream the games for family members, for parents that can't um obviously give me a second. Okay, just give me a second because I forgot I got to get the meeting ID number over to Coach Sanchez. Give me just a second. Okay, so I had to get that over to Coach Sanchez. I was talking, and oh wait a minute, I hadn't sent it to him. I thought I had, but I had not sent it to him. So now I got that stuff over to him. So we'll wait for Coach Sanchez. He will have a player. We'll be talking baseball, Ingleside baseball. So he'll be coming on. He'll have one of his assistant coaches. I'll let them introduce themselves, and a player. So definitely excited every time we can get an assistant coach and the players. It's always nice. So we'll wait here a few minutes and they'll be coming on. But again, I want to thank Coach Lewis for coming out, man, and all these coaches because they've all been great, from Coach Sanchez, baseball, Coach Lynch, soccer, Coach Lewis Williams, to Coach the basketball coaches, Coach Spencer, and all these coaches, Coach Chrisman. All of these coaches started with football, volleyball, into soccer, and it's been great. So next year we hope to continue to build and bring more stream consistently to the home games and the out of town games. And so our contracts are done. The final copy was sent to me yesterday. So now it's just about making copies. And so you're going to see me out in the Ingleside area trying to get some sponsorship for next year. Not this year, but next year. We'll start off with volleyball and football. So if you're interested, we got some great packages. We got some game day sponsorship and some season. So if you're interested, take a look at it and what we offer. And hopefully we'll get some support so we can put a team together out there and be able to stream football games and volleyball games through the home games and the out of town games with our equipment. So hopefully that'll all work out. And then we'll go to baseball and then basketball and soccer, just like we did. I thought I could have everything done this year, but it takes a little bit more time. I have to build my team and make sure everything is set in place. So we were able to hire a general manager. So it's all coming together slowly, but it's coming together. So really excited. Hopefully everything will work out there in Ingleside, and we can bring a lot of live streams to a lot of these games for people that can't be there at the games. They can watch them, and then also the podcast. as well. We're definitely working on making this a lot better too. Like I said, we're gonna get out of Zoom and go into software that's going to be a lot better, where we can do a lot more things than what we can do here. So that's going to be awesome. We'll continue to, I think I got it over to Coach Sanchez. As I said, we'll have our baseball here in just a bit. It'll be the head coach, Richard Sanchez will be on, and he's going to have a player and an assistant coach. So it's always nice. And then that'll end our podcast. So, Coach, if you can hear me, we're already live. So
Yes, sir.
we wait for everybody, but we just finished up with our softball head coach Kevin Lewis. So I said instead of we're already live, he's going to come on in about 2 minutes. We'll go live here and
Okay.
we'll wait up. So you got an assistant coach coming, correct?
Yes, sir. We have Coach Coffield. Hold on, give me a sec.
Coffield, no problem. Again, you're watching Monday Mustang podcast for all those that are watching. We're live. We just finished up with our Ingleside softball program. Coach Kevin Lewis was on. So now we're going to finish the night off with our baseball program. And as I said, the head coach, Richard Sanchez, will have an assistant coach come on, and one of his players you can see on the screen will introduce himself here in just a bit. Usually we don't go live, so the guys, I didn't tell the coaches. Usually we get everything settled in, and then I go live, but we were live. We just finished off, and it was going to be about a minute or two, and I said, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and stay live. So you're going to be, it's a little different tonight, but we'll get it going here in just a bit. And I want to thank all of the Mustang fans and surrounding areas, for everyone that's watching this podcast. Thank you for tuning in and supporting, obviously, our baseball and softball program there in Ingleside. All right, Coach. So as we wait for the assistant coach, we'll get started here, Coach. So first thing, Coach, I want to tell you, I was very impressed with your team. I was out there at the game in Rockport. We were streaming the game both on I was on our GT Sports YouTube channel, but we also shared the stream to their Facebook that we have there for Rockport, Parts Cove, and then of course ours there, the MPND Sports Network. And it was first time I'd seen the boys play. I followed them through Game Changer, but I got to tell you, Coach, I was very impressed with this young group. I know we didn't get the win, but we'll talk about the pitching performance, which I was really impressed with. And the boys played tough. A few errors, really, and one hit is, I think, what did it. But outside of that, the boys were in that game against a team that has seen a lot of success. So I was really impressed with the way the team played. I think definitely the Ingleside fans need to get excited about baseball and what's coming, because this is a good group of guys here that you got here. So, Coach, obviously, thanks for coming out. And like I said, it's a coach. We're going to be talking baseball here with our head coach, Richard Sanchez. But he does have an assistant coach and a player that's coming on. So I'll go with the player up on top. So before, I'm going to do a little different. I'm going to let you, Jayden, introduce yourself to the community. So tell us your full name, your jersey number, and what position you play for the Mustangs.
Um, I'm Jayden Techur. I play middle infield, and I'm number 8.
Yeah, I saw you play. Really impressed, man. You playing really good. The whole team's playing good. Looking forward to catching more of your games. Definitely get more you guys to come on this podcast to get you recognized. I think the team, the fans really need to get excited because this is a team that's coming back with a lot of players for the next 2, possibly 3 years, right? So if you haven't had an opportunity to see this team like I did, you really need to come out and support them. They're doing some great things, and they're going to be good. They're going to be really, really good in the next couple of years. So definitely come in and support these boys. And then on the bottom screen, we have an assistant coach. I'll let you introduce yourself, Coach.
Joshua Coffield. I've been with Ingleside going on 2 years now. Also,
Right.
alumni class of '08. So I'm Mustang through and through.
Absolutely. And for you guys that don't know, Josh is family. So it's always nice to have family. I don't always have family on this podcast, but Josh's family is married to my cousin Miranda. So it's always nice to have you. I was wondering, Josh, when coaches were going to get family. I didn't want to come out and say nothing and say, well, he wants his family, but I was waiting for the coach. Who's going to bring him on? Someone's got to get him on. All these coaches are coming on. So finally get him on. Listen, I know that I just want to say this. I didn't see you play. I don't remember, but from Ingleside, but the coaches have told me that you were a stud back in the day.
At one time, yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah. Well, some coaches say you can still play. They say you can still play. So it was really, really nice. But yeah, they talk highly of you. I've had Coach Chrisman on and obviously Coach Sanchez. And definitely they said you were really, really good in high school. So one day when we're in a family gathering, you'll have to tell me the story about how good you were when you were in high school. But Jayden, I'll go to you first. Let's talk a little bit about yourself. So do you play any other sports for Ingleside outside of baseball?
Yes, sir. I play football and I run track.
Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome. Track is good. Can't go wrong with track. So at what age did you pick up a bat and say, I'm going to start playing baseball? Or did somebody just say, you're going to come out here and I'm going to give you the bat and you're going to hit the ball?
I was 4 years old when I first picked up a bat, and I just started from Little League, went all the way up.
Absolutely. Is baseball your favorite sport?
I wouldn't say no, sir.
Okay. That's cool. I know Coach Sanchez is on, but he'll be all right with it. If you say he's football or track, he'll be okay with it because you're performing well, man. I mean, I'm telling you, I saw the game against Rockport, and I said I was really, really impressed. So tell me, Jayden, how do you feel the team is doing now? It's a team that is still growing, obviously, right? You guys came in, got a lot of young guys. I think maybe you have 2 or 3 seniors, if that, I think. But how is the season going for you guys? How do you see the season going for as young as you guys are and as well as you guys are playing?
It's going good. Only thing I can say we could fix, I want to use the word young. You just need to fix the errors and the mental things. That's really about it.
Yeah, I think that's what did Ingleside in against Rockport Fulton, a team that's had a lot of success. But with those 2 errors, I think I saw something. Outside of that, we hung into that game, gave ourselves a chance to win. Let's talk a little bit about Beeville. So you get a 3-2 win, huge win against a team that's playing really good. It came into Ingleside. You guys held them to 2 runs. You guys were able to score 3. Talk a little bit about that game. What did you see from your team as well as how you guys performed against a really good team in the Trojans?
Just we never gave up. Every inning we were on our feet. We didn't give up any inning. Just battling through.
A big win for you guys there at home. And then let's jump over to Rockport Fulton. So you guys played against Rockport. What was the mindset going in? You guys played really well, played tough. For a fan that goes in there, what I like to see from the team is just to give ourselves a chance. Sometimes the W's come, sometimes they don't. That's sports, right? You win some, and then you don't win some. But I thought in that game, you guys gave yourself a chance. I thought the pitching was awesome by Pena, and I'll get coach's thoughts here. But for you, what did you see from you guys playing against Rockport Fulton?
Every game we come in, we want to win. So only coming in that game, with our guys, every game we have a chance.
You had a good game against Rockport, got yourself on base. Is that correct, Coach? Am I saying that correct? I'm looking at the stats.
Yes, sir.
You get a hit off of one of the best pitchers, I think, here in the Coastal Bend, and the senior Sean Howe. I watched Sean pitch for a while. He's really good. What did you see from Sean where you were able to get a hit, get on base?
Yeah, he's really good. All he had was a fastball, slider, curveball, but all we tried to do was put the ball in play, make something happen.
You definitely made it happen. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your goals. You're a freshman.
So,
Outside of the team goals, do you like coming in? Is there any personal goals you're working towards that you want to accomplish in baseball before you graduate?
um, just make myself known, make sure everybody knows who I am, and just make sure I build our team up and get us a state champ.
Win, baby, win, man. That's the way
Yeah.
it is. I tell you, they're gonna know who you are. Um, Seeing the way you guys are playing, you're not playing like freshmen. I can tell you that. You got a lot of confidence, and we're going to continue to bring you here on the podcast. That's why we set this podcast up. That's why we have the MPND, the Sports Network, is to talk about our athletes there, the boys and the girls. So when Coach, we put up your stats. When you have good stats, we talk about you. Even when you're not here, we bring Coach on. Then we bring you on. So you definitely can come on anytime you want. You got to get Coach's permission, obviously, but when he allows you to come on, and we'll talk about your performance. So if you ever have a good game where you want to come on out and tell the community and surrounding areas how good you are, talk to Coach Sanchez. We'll get you on. We'll give you a platform and let you talk about how well you're playing. But I think you guys are playing great. And it's the first time I had seen you guys play. I'd never really seen. I follow you guys on Game Changer when I'm not there. So I have 6 monitors where I'm at right here where I'm sitting. I usually have the 3 schools we follow: Toloso, Midway, Rockport, and Ingleside. So I usually have my iPads out and I'm following on Game Changer, right? But this was against Rockport, the very first time I'd seen you guys play. And I got to tell you, Jayden, I was very impressed. I didn't know. I thought you guys were a little younger, so I wanted to see how you were going to perform once I found out that Rockport's going to have the race. And I'm telling you, you guys played very, very well, both on the offense and defense, and gave yourself a chance. So the next go around, we hope to be out there in Ingleside because I think it's going to be another good one. But I want to thank you for coming out and spending a few minutes here with us. And I'll give you the final word, Jake. Anything you want to add? Any shout outs?
Just God, my parents. I want to be here without them.
You
All my
know,
teammates.
that's the way to go. Always, God, you can't go wrong with him and the family. So thank you very much. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll talk to you soon. Hopefully, Coach Sanchez will get you back on before the season ends.
Yes, sir.
Get some sleep. You got a test tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The podcast didn't get you out of the test, man. You got a test tomorrow. So Coach, obviously one of your young players, man, that kid plays good though. And he talked about, wanting to be recognized. And I have a feeling that, he's definitely going to be recognized, not only around the community in Ingleside, but in surrounding areas. Kids really, really, really good. Got a couple of them there playing for you. But Coach, let's recap some of these games. We've got Coach Josh here. I'd like for you, if we could do it this way, is when we recap the game, since he's the pitching coach, kind of have you just talk about the offense, and then we'll give it to Coach Josh here and let him really specifically break down what he's seen from his pitcher. So let's go with Beeville. Coach Sanchez, this was a huge win for you guys. I thought Beeville was coming on high. I mean, maybe Rockport, they shot Rockport out 10-0. Not sure how good they are, but then they're coming on a high. They come into Ingleside. Your team was ready, very focused, played really good, got the 3-2 win. The stats, Jayden got 1 for 3, 1 run, 1 walk. Dylan, number 17, Reed, 1 for 3, 1 run, 1 RBI, a walk. Marcos Pena, number 10. He goes, let's see, 1 for 3. And Jayden Ramirez, number 4, 1 for 2. And then Clancy Morey, number 7, gets a run, a walk. Talk about offensively what you saw from this team. Only allowing Beeville, a good team, to get 2 runs, but you guys being able to get 1 more run to get the win.
It was definitely a big win. Well, let me backtrack. Before I get started, I wanted to just give a shout out to and congratulate Coach Robbie Gonzalez and the Ingleside, the boys track and field team, on their 5th consecutive district title, which Jayden Techur was a part of, and he actually qualified for area in the sprint relay, I believe. He's part of the sprint relay, and he qualified in the triple jump. So best of luck to those guys, and congratulations to them as well. Good luck to the softball girls. I know they're sitting right in the mix for that district championship, so hopefully they can keep it rolling and bring it home. Going back to your question, we a lot of times what we lack, and it's just baseball. A lot of times what we lack is that timely hit, that hit with runners on base. And we were fortunate that first inning to put up a couple runs, getting hits with runners on base. And it was just good. It was good to actually, we compete and we're in games, and we've lost a lot of close games, but in a lot of those games, we've been playing from behind. We're 1 run behind, 2 runs behind, 3 runs behind, and we kind of scratch our way back into it. So, it was good to, grab that lead in the first inning and hold it for the game and be able to execute and play well in the tight 1-run ball games and stuff like that. Jayden Ramirez, and just, I got to talk about him. Jayden Ramirez. So we had been, Lance Van Meter had been the designated hitter for Jayden for the better part of the season. Lance suffered an injury, his banged up his shoulder. So I told Jayden, you're going to have to hit for yourself now. You're going to hit for yourself. He's had minimal at bats this season, minimal at bats. He knows his role go play right field, do the very best you can, and we go from there. So he had a huge RBI double, that scored Clancy Mooring. So I just wanted to give a shout out to him. He's a great kid, and he works hard, and he's always a team first guy. So for him to be able to come through in a situation like that in a big district game to score what ultimately was the go ahead run, the run that gave us the win, it was a big moment for him. So I was proud of him. But yeah, whenever you can, get that timely hit with runners on base, you put yourself in a good spot. And when it gives the pitcher a little more comfort going out there, understand that he's pitching with a lead as opposed to, pitching down 2, down 3, down 1, whatever it may be. So, I was definitely proud of him, and always stuff we can get better at, but in this district, you take the wins when you can get them. So I was definitely proud of him.
Absolutely. That was a great win. And then on the mound, Coach Josh, for you, Marcus Barone, number 3, pitched over 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and then you bring in, I believe it's the sophomore, isn't it, Coach?
Pena.
Sophomore,
Yeah, they're
Marcus
both sophomores.
Sophomores.
Yeah.
Marcus Pena comes in, shuts it down, man. Pitches a little over 2 innings. It's the 4 case. Talk about these guys. They're both young. I mean, you've got 2 pitchers here who are still learning and growing, but playing good against a good team here, and they're able to just give up 2 runs. What did you see from both of those pitchers in this game?
Well, I'll kind of start from the beginning of the season. Our mindset and mental approach to the game. We knew going into the season that we weren't gonna throw. We're not gonna throw gas. We're not gonna blow it by anybody. And so really teaching them the art of setting people up, the importance of hitting spots, pitch selections and things like that, getting guys off balance, taking that Greg Maddux, approach at the mounds. And then also to minimizing walks, being efficient, for keeping it in the zone, and the importance of that. And that's really what, those 2 young men have done all year. especially in the Beeville game. Marcus Barone went in there very efficient. I tell him, hey, you got 65 pitches, whether that's one inning or whether that's the whole game. Like, you got 65 pitches, and we got to go attack the zone. And I've seen a lot of growth out of both of those young men and all the pitchers on the staff, and they've really seen the importance of hitting, not giving up those free 90s, because walks score, and you can go back to any of the games that we've lost this year and kind of, man, if we didn't have that walk, certain ones, we win the game. It's a different ball game, and so them understanding that and learning the game and stuff like that they've made tremendous strides up there on the mound and stuff like that, and it's really built their confidence. And both of them, every single pitch they have, like I tell them, like I'm gonna call it, like you get a full count, don't think it's just gonna be a fastball, like I have confidence in all your pitches, and so if I'm gonna call them, you got to have confidence too, and that's really shown this year.
No, I think when that game I saw with him, like I said, I follow him on Game Changer, but watching them perform and just watching the stream, like on Game Changers, it's really, really different. When you're watching them there, you're seeing the body language, you're seeing them coming out.
Absolutely.
I was really, really impressed. And so for the Mustang fans, as you're hearing coaches talk here with this team, these two pitchers are sophomores, doing some amazing things and still growing. So again, that for the baseball fans or for a Mustang fan in general, that should excite you to be able to come out, because that's the future. 2 more years plus the remainder of this year for these guys to continue to grow. It's awesome to see. I think they're pitching great. Like I said, I follow them. I look at their stats after every game. Really impressed. I was I didn't know that they were that young. I thought they were probably juniors or seniors when I first brought Coach Sanchez on. I didn't know much about this team. He's all, man, my guys are young, man. Like freshman, summer. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. He said, no, man, I got like just a few seniors. Really, I started paying more attention to these guys. I said, man, these guys are young. Let's see what they're going to do this year. Every practice and every game, these boys, especially those two pitchers, gaining a lot more confidence when they're in games, and obviously when they're winning these games. And so that brings the Mustangs, as we end the first round of district, got 1 and 2 in district play, and then the Mustangs travel to Rockport Fulton for another district game. They take the loss 1-4, but the score doesn't really reflect how these boys really played. They were in this game. Coach, before I go to you, I want to kind of put the stats out there. Jayden was 1 for 4, 1 run. Dylan 2 for 2. Dylan had a good game against Rockport. Had that 1 walk with 3. Marcus Barone 2 for 2, 1 RBI, 1 walk. The team total 26 at bats, 1 run, 5 hits, 1 RBI, 3 walks. But coach, I think to me, when I saw this game, bases loaded, man, at the beginning. We don't get a run. I mean, it's like the 4-1, but the opportunities that were there for the Mustangs to get runs, could have opened it up many times, didn't get the time to hit or what we needed. What did you see, Coach Sanchez, from the offense? Because getting on base and having the opportunities to get runs were there for us.
Yes, sir. When you're up against a guy like Sean Howe, and he's, I've seen him for 4 years. He's a lot of varsity innings. He's extremely composed up there. He pitches well, throws hard, and just is a good pitcher. So anytime you have opportunities like that, especially with the bases loaded, especially early on the road, a tough place to play over there, you got to take advantage. And unfortunately, we weren't able to. And that's just, and I talked to the boys after the game. I said, I understand you're not up there striking out on purpose, and you're not up there, you're not doing it on purpose, but it's just a mindset. It's just a mindset. That's that competitive mindset that as we grow, as we get older, man, it's got to come. It's a lot of stuff that we can't coach. It's a lot of stuff that's got to come from within. So, I was proud, like I said, the effort with this group is never going to be in question. It'll sometimes be the execution might be in question, but the effort's never going to be in question with this group. So, a few more strikeouts than I would have liked. If you put the ball in play and make them get us out, it might be a different story. If we if we're able to scratch one or two in that first inning, but Sean's good. He's like I said, he's probably the best pitcher in the district. One of them, in my opinion, one of the best pitchers in South Texas. So, there's definitely a chance we'll see him again in the second round. And my message to the boys after the game was, I can assume that most of these freshmen and sophomores have some kind of aspirations to play at the next level, play collegiately, for the most part. And they all said, yeah, that's fair to say. That's what they're going to see on a day-to-day basis. He's a Division II commit. He's going to A&M Kingsville. And I just stress that's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to see on a game-to-game basis. And that's what we're going to see, if we want to get to where we want to get in second, third round of the playoffs. That's the kind of pitching we have to be able to hit. We have to be able to execute our offense. We have to be able to score runs. So, at the end of the day, I'm always proud of my guys. Like I said, the effort's never in question, but it's just some, like we've talked about before, some of the babies got to grow up quick, and they're getting there. They're getting there. So hopefully we can get it rolling the second half.
Coach, I think you will. I mean, I think that they're growing. I've only seen one game, and with Sean Howell, I've seen him since he was in middle school, freshman, and he just gets stronger as the innings go. If you're gonna jump on, you gotta jump on the murder. Because what I've seen from him is he can go I think he went to pitch count too all the way, and had to get out. So
6 2/3, so he was 1 out away from a complete game. So.
Yeah, so he's I've seen him do that, and he's tough as the innings go. I've always said you got to jump on him early. But for us too, now, our pitcher did pretty good. He was up there. I mean, Sean had 17 Ks, but number 10, the sophomore Marcus Pena, had 10. 6 innings pitched. So he pitched. It was a battle between a sophomore and a senior, right? So Marcus pitched the whole game, 5 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks. That's what was really impressive to me, right? Is that he went the distance, and he kept his composure. When you're young, okay, how is this going to work out? He continued to pitch very well against a pretty good lineup in Rockport Fulton. Coach Josh, what did you see from him? I mean, this is your sophomore. I thought he pitched about as good a game as anybody could have pitched.
Absolutely. And I was talking to Coach Sanchez today about that. As the game went on, that's where most of his strikeouts came, was later on in the game, where really, it's close ball game. He didn't buckle, and I told the guys too after the game, last year, it shows the growth where we're at. Last year, the wheels probably could have, fallen off, somewhere in the middle of that game, but they didn't. It was all the way to the end, and we've talked about, from the pitching, it starts with them up there on the mound. Got to give us a chance, and his confidence up there on the mound it's priceless right now, and I love it. I love where he's at right now, and we're only going to get stronger. I tell him, we may not be able to blow gas right now by people. I said, but you're a sophomore, keep hitting that weight room and things like that, and by the time you're a senior, you'll be in Howell's shoes, being able to blow it by him. To add to the offensive part, I think we learned too, because we are so young. When a pitcher's got 17 strikeouts against you, what can we learn from that? And I talked to the guys today in the cage. He lived on the outer half, and we watched way too many strikes. Whether they thought it was a ball or strike, that's where the ump was calling it. And you have to make that adjustment. As a great hitter, you have to be able to make that adjustment and take that ball that way. So it's all a learning process.
No, I thought, and that's what you want from a pitcher. That was what was impressive when we were calling the game. I didn't know much about him. I mean, we've had him on the podcast here that one time, and I thought, wow, he's on the road, right? It was a good little crowd there on both sides, and to keep his team in the game, to just holding 4 runs, like you said, in one inning could give a 4 or 5. That's what I want to see, and especially in a young pitcher. How is he going to handle this? And this kid kept it close and gave his team, an
Mhm.
opportunity to win. And then, like I was telling Coach Sanchez, man, the runners were on base. We were multiple times we were in scoring position where we could have cut that lead in half. But again, you're facing one of the best pitchers. But I thought overall, if you just look at the 4-1 and think, oh, you know what, they didn't play good. That's not the case. You have to have been there. These boys gave themselves a chance all the way from the beginning to the end. And then
Yes,
those
sir.
errors, really, if they don't make those errors, might be closer. Who knows, right? So overall, I thought these boys played really good. I don't think that the record that we have right now in district reflects how good this team is getting every week. And I'm really interested to see the second go around, Coach Sanchez, how the Mustangs are going to play Rockport Fulton, how they're going to play Sinton and Beeville and Calhoun. Because I think this team's going to, in the second go around, are going to surprise some people if they don't think that Ingleside can win these games. Because what I saw against Rockport, this team is going to be in pretty much all of these games and give themselves a chance to win. So this second go around is going to be really, really good. And it's going to be interesting. So let's get into previewing these games. And, Coach Josh, I'll go to you first. You got Sinton.
Mhm.
Now you're going to Sinton. This team, they've seen all kinds of success. They coach very well, Coach Alanis. Those boys, they seem like every time they graduate someone, they're still good. And even when they're not, I was talking to a guy and he said, oh, we're still going to be good. And I said, yeah, but when you go to the second or third round and lose, it's bad for you. It's good for us.
Yeah.
For you, because when you lose in the third round, man, it's like, what's wrong with you guys, right? But you're playing a team offensively that's really good, coach well. How do you, from the pitchers, what are you telling your pitchers to get them prepared and focused to play a really good team in Sinton to try to get the win?
Well, biggest thing is just not afraid to make mistakes. Like, you can't go in there. They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like you do, and from a standpoint, like, I don't change nothing like for them. We're going to go and we're going to go right after them, just like we would anybody else, but I think especially being youthful, and playing in the atmosphere like Sinton and playing, against the tradition and stuff like that they have over there, going and not being intimidated, going and not being afraid to make a mistake. It's because when you start thinking you're going to make a mistake, that's when it's going to happen, and understanding that, baseball is a crazy game. Anything can happen. Last year we were up, 5 runs, 5-0 on them, at home. And, they came up and had some clutch hits and stuff like that. But, anything is possible. I think we can go out there and we can win it. Absolutely.
God, that would be great. And I think you're right. I've seen teams play against them, and it's mental. It gets in your head. It's mental. They're sitting.
Absolutely.
You play football. You play Calhoun. You're telling yourself they're Calhoun, and when you got to be thinking the way you're saying, Coach, was that, but they're just like us, right? 1 foot, 1 leg at a time. Putting on, I think you said the pants. Or
pants 1 leg at a time.
Yeah. At a time. You got to understand that they'll make mistakes. I think that the way to approach, if I was a player playing against them, would be that I'm going to go out there and just play free, right? I'm not going to put no pressure on myself. I'm going to shut everybody out. They're just like playing any other team. We're going to go out there and do what we do. We don't worry about what they do and what kind of championships they have. I would clear all that out. We're going to go play another team and
Absolutely.
let the chips fall and play my game. And so definitely it's going to be a good one there in Sinton. And Coach Sanchez, offensively, what do you want to see from your team? I mean, they've also got some good pitching as well.
Yeah, anytime you face Sin, you're going to see a quality arm. I want to see us, again, kind of going off what Coach Coffield said, but from the offensive side, not afraid to make a mistake, right? Not afraid to make a mistake, understanding probably the first time through the lineup, they're going to try to establish the fastball in the strike zone. All right. So we got to be hunting that. We got to be attacking that fastball. Okay. We got to be able to use all 3 strikes. All right. If we're up there and we're aggressive in the strike zone, I'm not going to be mad at you, and then that second time through the lineup, we start making adjustments. They start making adjustments. But getting up there and hunting the fastball, hunting it, being on the attack, not being defensive, not having defensive swings, not being negative, having a lot of confidence at the plate, right? Attacking the fastball and putting the ball in play and making stuff happen.
Absolutely. And then on Friday, on April 11th, you got Calhoun. Coach Sanchez, we can beat Calhoun. I just, it's just my feeling. I saw the game. I said, and especially now that I've seen Ingleside, I know that it's a home game. If we come out and play, we can get that win. What do you think? And what do you see? What do you want to see from your team against Calhoun? That's still a little ways down the week, but I won't have you till next Monday. Yeah. Your thoughts on that game?
We went down 2-0 to them in the first over there at their place, and I was really proud of them. They scratched back. We clawed back. I think we scored one in the third, one in the fourth. It was 2-2 going into the fifth.
Yes, yeah.
Right, 2-2 going into the fifth, and we made a couple untimely mistakes, and it led to a few runs. But I mean, they're a good team. They are a team, and we were right there with them, 2-2 in the fifth, and just competing. So, having them at home definitely helps. But if we can get out there and just, like I've said before, if, kind of going off what Coach said, like, we're not going to rack up the strikeouts. I know Pina had 10 strikeouts, but we're just not a power, So if we can make teams earn everything they get against us, we're pretty tough, right? If we can make teams earn every single 90, home to first, first to second, second to third, third to home, and not give away any freebies, then, we can hang with anybody. So if we can make that our focus and execute and get up there and play with some confidence, we definitely got a shot.
Coach Josh, I'd like to ask you about, first of all, Calhoun's a tough place to play. It is not an easy play. I don't know why, but the times I've gone out there and watched, it's been tough. It's a tough place to play out there in Port Lavaca, at least. That's what I think. But I'm not going to ask you on the podcast to tell me who you're going to start against Sinton and Calhoun. We'll keep that until game time. But what do you want to see? Whoever's going to pitch, what do you want to see? I mean, you're at home now. Obviously, there's a little bit of an advantage, I would think. But what do you want to see? You saw the first go around. You saw what they were able to do offensively. Do you make any changes from the first game to the second game, or is it the same game plan?
Well, I got the pitch. The sequence I gave them last time. Biggest thing is just trying to keep them off balance. Staying out of those hitters counts. Those fastball counts. Keeping them off balance. Being a ground ball hitter, ground ball pitcher. Pop-ups, things like that. Just keeping them off balance. They have a lot of power on the team. I think their third baseman is, he hits the ball pretty dang good. So got to keep it out of certain kids' houses and stuff like that. Hit the corners. Hit your spots. Not leaving anything hanging and stuff like that. So that'll be the game plan going into those games.
Well, good luck. I think, like I said, I was really impressed with the boys. I think they've gotten better from the first time we played them. This game that I saw against Rockport, I was really impressed with them, the way they played. They're growing up and they're tough, man. There's no reason. I think Coach Sanchez told me just because you're a freshman or sophomore doesn't mean we got to wait till we're juniors or seniors. We can win now. We're trying to win now. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
We're not going to wait till we're juniors. We want to win now. We want to go beat Sinton now. We want to go beat these teams now. We're not going to wait until we become juniors and seniors. And look, I think that these boys have a good chance. I'm really looking forward to catching some of the games the second go around, because I think with the pitching that we have, and we've got some guys that can hit, I think we can win some games, and I think we can definitely be in all of these games. We go in there focused on the road, especially at home. Definitely got a good opportunity. So again, when we're at home, we invite all of the Ingleside Mustang fans to come on now, support your softball and baseball program. These boys here that we're talking about, a lot of them will be returning next year and the year after. So it's time to come out. I always say this, coaches coach and players play, and the community has a responsibility to come on out and cheer for our team. So that's what we need to do.
Absolutely.
Coach Josh, before I let you go, so you played football and baseball, correct?
And track and powerlifting. And yeah, the only thing I didn't do was basketball.
Wow. So I got to ask you with football and baseball. So which sport did you love more when you were in high school?
It just depended on the season.
So if
we were in season for baseball, it was baseball. But if we were in football season, it was football.
So you like them both. That's good, man.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an athlete. I don't pick one or the other, man. It's whatever I'm in. That's my favorite sport at the time. That's awesome. Coach Sanchez, thank you guys for coming out. Really appreciated you bringing out your assistant coach. And hopefully we'll be able to have you guys on again before the season ends. But the goal is to get into the playoffs. 4 teams out of the 5 will go. Ingleside is in the mix. The second go around starts, and it starts tomorrow in Sinton and then at home on Friday. So we invite everyone on Friday. Take that short drive to Sinton, first of all, because it's only about a 15, 20-minute, if that. Get on out there, support the blue, and then definitely on Friday at home, definitely come on out. As Calhoun be coming into town, you definitely want to get the win and go 2-0. So, Coach Josh, I'll give you the final thought. And anything you want to add, any shout outs you want to give?
No, give a shout out to, so I do pitchers and catchers. Our catcher, Johnny Ramirez, I believe he's got 15. He's thrown out 15 guys this year on the bases. He is the man behind the plate right now, and I'm proud of all the growth on the team. But Johnny has made leaps and bounds behind the plate this year. He's really stepped up, and I'm proud of him.
I saw him throw out the Jackson Calhoun from Rockport when he ran. That one guy got a jump on him, but the one he got it there plenty of time too. One time he got Jackson. I saw him. I'm throwing. I said, "Oh man, that ball's gonna get there." That second baseman had it before he even slid. So definitely got an arm. He's got a good jump. So
yes, sir.
I can't remember. Josh is he a senior?
Johnny? No, he's a sophomore.
Oh Lord. Yeah,
he was on the show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is I don't know, Coach Sanchez. You got a lot of you got some talent on your hands, is what I can tell you. You got a lot of talent, right? Both of you guys do. So it's gonna be great. Coach Sanchez, I'm really excited about baseball, man. I didn't know coming into the season, never seen these guys, but the more we talk about them, obviously, the more we bring them on the podcast, the more we can get them out there, the more exciting it is to see what they're doing, to see their stats, and to know that they're so young in classification that we still got them for the next 2 to 3 years is really exciting. So looking forward to the rest of this year and the next 2 years or 3. We'll see what happens. But I want to give you the final word, Coach. Anything you want to add? Any shout outs?
We're gonna keep showing up. We're gonna keep competing. We're gonna keep working. We know the Mustang faithful, is gonna continue to do the same. They're gonna continue to show up. And we're nowhere, like we've talked about it, and I stress to the boys, we're nowhere out of this thing. We're nowhere near out of this thing. We're definitely in the mix. But like we've talked about before, one day at a time, one game at a time, one inning at a time, one pitch at a time, and do your very best. And, we'll definitely see what happens, but we're going to keep competing and keep working hard.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time again. Good luck. Safe travels tomorrow to Sinton back. And hopefully when it's all said and done, we've got the W. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You too.
That was our baseball. 2 coaches, our head coach, Richard Sanchez, and assistant coach, I think he's a pitcher and catching coach, Josh Coffield. So, these guys do a great job, man. I tell you, if you have not seen this baseball team, the first thing that comes to mind is, they're young. And I remember my first podcast with Coach Sanchez. Hey man, age doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like we're gonna go play, and these boys play. I think they're a lot better than what their district record shows. But they're gonna learn. I mean, they're gonna make mistakes. Obviously, they're learning. I think the coaching is good. There in Ingleside, obviously, we've had Coach Pena on as well. We had Coach Coffield, and we know the knowledge he has there for baseball. And can relate very well to the kids. We've had Coach Pena on. He's got a lot of years of experience. The other assistant coach, so Coach Sanchez, has brought his assistants on. And that's why we bring them on, to introduce them to the community. But they've got some young guns that are going to really be good, man. So I'm telling you, Mustang fans, just pay attention to the baseball team, right? Don't look at the record. Pay attention to them, because I think these boys are going to be they're going to be pretty good. They're going to be pretty good. If what I saw in their last game is an indication of the way they play every game, they're definitely going to win more games than that. So I'm really excited to be able to bring them on and talk to them and see them play. Like Coach Sanchez said, they are in the mix. Their goal was to get into the playoffs this year. They felt, rightfully so, that they're one of the 4 best teams in this district, and they feel that they should be one of them. And they're right in the mix right now. And so we'll see how things play off here. But no matter how the season goes, the bulk of this team for Coach Sanchez will be back. And I'm telling you, you're going to hear some names. We had Jayden on, and he said he wants people to know who he is. And we already know who he is. I already know who he is. And he's only a young player. So still got a lot of growth to do. So I'm just going to leave it with this. Pay attention to the Ingleside baseball team. I'm telling you, they're special. So again, I want to thank Coach Kevin Lewis for coming out today, talking about the softball program, and then Coach Sanchez, and he brought his assistant coach Coffield to come out and talk a little bit of baseball. So they're both scheduled next week again. We don't know until we get closer to Monday if they'll be able to come on or not. Sometimes they have other things going on. But again, for the girls, they'll have a game at home tomorrow, a non-district against Victoria West. The boys baseball will be traveling to Sinton. So again, it's just a few miles down the road here, but maybe a 15-minute drive. So for the Faithful Blue, definitely go out there and support your baseball team. And then Friday, they'll be back at home there. Another district game against Calhoun, a big one. Definitely would love to have a big crowd there at home. So again, I want to thank all 3 coaches for coming out, spending some time talking about their program and the players. And again, we'll be back next Monday here on the MPND Sports Network. We'll talk more baseball and softball. Until then, have a great night, and we'll see you guys soon.